Hi friends, I'm very happy to stand before you for this new sections class. Last year we studied the class 8 and we learned social studies. And this year you promote to standard 9 and you have to learn the social studies. And you know that there are 4 categories are there in social studies, especially geography, history, political science and economics. So maybe last year you learned only one book, all the three things are included in one textbook. But 9th and 10th we have 4 different books are there, and that I already explained to you, that is geography, history, politics and economics. So in this class I will deal with 2 different books, that geography and politics. So today we came with the geography text. This is the textbook. You may have textbook, and while we are starting our lesson, you all open your textbook, and while I am giving the explanation, you have to listen carefully. That's the first and foremost thing. Everyone listen carefully. If you are not keeping your attention towards me, you will not get the proper information from the textbook. So, the first one I would like to urge you that everybody listen carefully. You have to cast your complete attention towards me while I am teaching. Then only you will get the complete information from the textbook. So, from the geographical textbook, I would like to start the first lesson. That's that I already mentioned here. Maybe the geography for the 9th class. The first lesson, lesson 1, we can see that India, size and location. So, in this lesson, we are going to learn about India, mainly the size and location in the world. You know that in our textbook, while we are opening, we can see that there is a picture in the first page. That's we can see that all over the world, all the different continents are mentioned there, and also India also placed in yellow color. And while you are seeing the yellow color, that then you can identify that that's India, because we are living in India. And also you have so many information about the last class about India and locations, and a little deeply we are learning from this lesson. So India, size and location. And here we can understand that in India, different culture, and we have different type of agriculture, development equipments, just like the industries are there, technologies are there, and all over the things while we are thinking about India. And you know that we are comparing about other nations, India also almost developing. And now through this lesson we are learning about the India's size and location. So first of all you have to go for the first topic, that's the location. So India's location, the worldwide, where it is located in India in the world map. About that we are learning from this lesson. So you know that especially while we are learning, this is the globe, maybe this is the north pole, this is the south pole, and this is the west, and this is the east, that we already understand. The middle one that's going, the lines are imaginary, that's equator, and we are learning about maybe these are lines from the north to south that's coming, imaginary lines are there, that is called latitudes, longitudes, and also from the west to east, the lines which we can see, that's called latitude. So longitudes are there, and also the latitudes are there. From the western side towards the eastern side, others are from eastern to western. The lines, imaginary lines we are seeing, that is called latitudes. And from the north pole to southern pole, the imaginary lines are coming towards that, that is called longitude. And the middle one that we are seeing, equator. These are the numbers you already know, you already learned from the previous classes. Then once again I explained about that. So while we are able to locate a particular nation, we must have the understanding, others information about the latitude and the longitude. then only we are able to locate one particular place and where it is. Where that particular nation is located, about the, we are getting the information while we are knowing about the latitudes and the longitudes. Now, here mentioned that the location is very clearly says that and India's location, we can understand that that's in latitudes 8 degree 4 north and 37 degree 6 north. That's the latitudes. And the longitude, all right. Okay, latitudes, I already informed you that 8 degree 4 north and 37 degree 6 north, and the longitudes 68 degrees east and 97 degree to east. So you know that I explained already which one is the latitudes and which one is the longitude. I have already given the explanation. And the location of India, according to these are the latitudes and these are the longitudes. That where and we used to see the locations of India. And we can understand that maybe the Tropic of Cancer maybe 23 degree or 30 knots and divides into a country into almost equal two parts. You know that maybe the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn that we learned in the 8th class. So you understand about the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. So that we can maybe the boundaries are going through even the middle sides of India that goes through that 23 degree and 30 knots north, and that's dividing India into two different equal parts that we can understand. So this is the location of our India in the world map. Okay, maybe you know this is this is the equator. This is the equator. You know that India is almost. I am going to explain about all those things once again. And maybe almost the northern side. We can see that maybe India is maybe the northern side, and maybe the little part of the part we can see the maybe the southern part of the equator, and rest of the almost all the parts, and we can see that and northern hemisphere. So now I would like to give a more explanation about that, and before that we have to go for the size, because we learned the locations and the latitude and longitude. We already learned about that. Now we have to go and learn for the size of India. Now listen to me. Let me write. Okay, this is the size. We are going to learn about the size of India. And we can understand that maybe while we are reading the textbook, that very clearly says that the landmass of India has an area of 3.28 million square kilometer. I'll repeat once again, you listen carefully. Maybe the landmass of India has an area of 3.28 million square kilometer. Okay? Area 3.28 million square kilometer. Okay, the total area for India, which is located in the world map, that we can understand that 3.28 million square kilometer, because we are learning about the size of India. So you have to understand that. You have to keep in mind that the topic, that the size we are talking about India size is the area 3.28 million square kilometer. And while we are reading that topic, we can understand that, and India is the seventh largest country of the world. You can understand that India is the seventh largest country. You know that while you are seeing this picture, you will get a clear information. And you know that maybe the 7 countries, maybe the graph are already placed here. The first one we can see that's Russia, and second one that's Canada, and third one is called USA, and fourth one is called China, and fifth one is called Brazil, and sixth one is called Australia, and the seventh one is India. That means it's very clearly this graph states that India is even the size 7th position we are having maybe in the world map for India. That we can understand. So size only explained that maybe in the world, maybe the biggest nation, there are 6 nations are remaining in front of us, and we are the 7th one in size. So that means 3.28 million square kilometer. That's very clearly your textbooks explaining. You go through textbook, you will have a very good information about that. So you know that the 7th largest country, that's India. Now we are going ahead. We can understand that maybe India has the land boundary of the almost about 15,200 kilometers. You know that we are learning about the size, and here very clearly says that maybe the boundary of about our India's land boundary, especially about 15,200 kilometers land boundary. That is 15,200 kilometer. Okay, and India, our maybe the size of India and our land boundary, we can understand that 15,200 square kilometer. That's the boundaries of India, and we can understand that including maybe the Andaman and Nicobar and Lakshadweep Island. That means 7,516.6 kilometer. You know, I will write on the board. You listen carefully. Maybe including islands. The total we can understand that 7,516.6. Maybe the square kilometer. Okay, you know that that's the boundaries of, especially for the islands. Andaman, Nicobar, and Lakshadweep Islands are there. That also belongs to India. Maybe that landmass, because that's the island that is little bit separated from India. You know, the ocean only we can see. Even the western side and eastern side we can see the maybe the islands are there. These are the island boundaries. We can say as 7,516.6 square kilometer. That's the boundaries of Lakshadweep and Andaman Nicobar Islands. Okay, now again we can understand that maybe here and northwest and northeast bounded by Ironfold mountains are there. So you know that India, especially you know that India, we have the picture, and that picture very clearly says that, see, this picture we can understand that maybe you have the textbook, open the textbook, go through the books and find out, maybe India is there, you know, this is the Arabian Ocean, here is the Indian Ocean, here is the Bay of Bengal, oceans are there, and maybe you think about the maybe the northern part, you know, the Asia is the northern part because India is laid down maybe the southern part of the extent of the southern part of Asia, and you know that while we are thinking about the northern shores of India, we can say so many young mountains are remain maybe bounded by, so that we are getting the clear understanding. So many mountains are there, maybe the northern part of our India. Now, so many mountains are there, and we can understand that again, maybe Indian Ocean divided into two oceans are there, especially that's the Arabian Sea and the Bay of Bengal. That's that also very clear. You know that India's map is here, and you know this is the world map is given here, and this is India. And you know when we are seeing the moving towards the western side, we can understand that there's Arabian Sea. That's called Arabian Sea, and that's maybe downward. This all together we can say that that's the Indian Ocean. And also this is the eastern side. While we are moving towards the eastern side, we will get the clear information about the Bay of Bengal. So Indian Oceans are divided into two equal parts, and western side we can see the Arabian Sea, and eastern side while we are moving we look at the ocean that's called Bay of Bengal. That also there. This is the size of the India. that all together we can understand that it's the size of India. And once again, let me say that area 3.28 million square kilometer, and the land boundaries are 15,200 square kilometers are there, including islands. That means Lakshadweep is there, Andaman, Nicobar are there. These are the islands included. Maybe 7,516.6 square kilometer that we can see. And also we have different oceans are there, especially with the western part of India. We can see Arabian Sea. Maybe the southwards we can see the Indian Ocean, and the eastern side we can see the Bay of Bengal. That means Indian Oceans are divided into two equal halves. And first of all, we can see Arabian Sea, and second, other side we can see eastern part. We can see the Bay of Bengal. And these are the main information from the we are getting from the size. So we already discussed about the location, where in latitude and whereas in longitude. And secondly, we discussed about the size and the areas and also the boundaries of India, and also maybe including island. How many square kilometers is surrounded by? About that we got very clear information. Now you have to move a little ahead. So next topic I would like to explain to you that. Let me write. So next topic, we are going to discuss about the India and the world. You know that we already discussed about the location, and secondly we discussed about the size of India, and third now we are going to discuss about the India and the world, and what are the relationship between the rest of the world. About that we are learning from this paragraph. You know that you already know there are a few examples, information about the previous classes. Now again, we are giving some more information about India and the world. So here we are going to learn about the Indian landmass as a central location between the East and the West Asia. That's one of the main information we are getting. That you know that while we are going through the books, you know that India is almost the middle. The information which we are getting from here, and India is almost the middle. So you know that from we will have, and maybe the good traveling as we are able to move. Even the most of the people, if the eastern side of the people move towards the maybe the western side, others the western people move towards the eastern side, and if they are coming through the landmark and they are able to touch India, there are another option also there then also. And also for Indian people have more specialty that we are able to move eastern side and western side very easily, because our landmarks in Asia, that's almost the central part. That's a very important thing. And next we can see that India is a southward extension of the Asian continent, which cannot the countries of Europe in the west and the countries of the east and Asia provide a strategic central location to the India. So that will I already explained that, because we are in the middle part. You know, even though we are located maybe the southern part of the Asia, southern part of the Asia, and also we will have. And so we are able to move the eastern side and the western side, and we are the central part of the even the map. That also we can very clearly we will get the information from the textbook. Now again that's mentioned that, and no other country has a long coastal line on the Indian Ocean as India has are indeed. So you know that maybe that picture very clearly again says that you know that in India, and we are located mainly the southern part of the Asia, and you know that even the western side and eastern side, the completely the coastal areas are there. You know that, and so many other nations also there. They also have the coastlines are there, but we understand that their size is very big. But India's size is the seventh. Okay, we have the seventh, maybe our position in the world, the biggest nations. The seventh part is our own India, and we can understand that. Even the seventh in the world, we are the seventh one. At the same time, we have very long coast coastal areas. You know that the western side Arabian Oceans are there, the eastern and the southern part we can say Indian Oceans are there, and we are moving towards the eastern side. We can understand that very clearly. Maybe the Bay of Bengal is there. So we have very good. Maybe the coastal areas are there. Coastal areas are there, and when we are moving ahead, we can again understand that India's contrast with the world have continued through ages, but the relationship through the land and the maritime contact. You know that because India is having, the coastal areas are there, and because of that we have so many features are there that mention that India and contact with the world have continued through the ages, because we had the contact with the world nation by because of that. Through the landmark also we are able to move towards any other nation. At the same time, through the voyage, marital, and so many marital trades also there. So through that also we are able to reach any other nations. So we have the specialty even because we have that much coast areas are there, and also we will be located in the southern part of the Asia. That purpose only we are able to have so many visas with the other nations also. That only very clearly here mentioned that India's contact with the world have continued through ages, but relationship through the land and the marital contact. So through the marital contact and through the maybe the landmass, through the land also we are moving towards any other nation, we are able to move because we have that specialities. So today I would like to wind up my class for today, and we learned maybe the locations of India, and we learned the size of India, and we discussed about the India and the world. So about that, few glimpses I have already given, and because this lesson I am going to divide as a 2 episode. The first episode I am going to wind up here, and the second episode, and I will complete the first lesson. So you have to read carefully, and you have to listen very carefully. And there are so many new terminologies are mentioned there, and that's not enough familiar with you because you learned the 7th class and 8th class, and that lessons we have seen. We have familiar so many vocabularies are there, but there are new vocabularies mentioned placed in this textbook also. So you carefully go through the read again and again this textbook, and which are the terminologies are difficult for you. You are unable to understand. You write it down properly and go through the dictionary, find out the meaning, write it down in a notebook or any papers and memorize. Okay, then you will get the clear pictures about this lesson. So finally, I would like to wind up this section for today, and tomorrow, the next episode, I will give the clear rest of the part. I will take the class, and you will get the complete information about this lesson. So, as a homework, I would like to give you that you read again and again this lesson, and the terminologies which are hard for you, to write it down, write the meaning, and memorize it properly. Okay, and we will see you in the next class. I hope that whatever I discussed for today, you got it, you understood, and we can learn together, we can go ahead. Okay, then thank you very much. God bless.